How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another deck profile from me, ScrubGames, in which this time we're going over, in the new style of my deck profile as well, over the OG Boujack list. Now I know I have put out OG Boujack lists on my channel before, but since then I've amended it slightly. And also, as I said, with the new style deck profiles, I also have a game at the end of the video to show off how the deck is in action. So if you're interested in seeing how the deck performs, feel free to watch until the end if you just want to see the list. Here it is, and if you want to just take it onto Untap to try it out yourself before you build it in real life, if you do want to build it in real life, then head on down to the detail box of the video, go on the link of the deck profile, which will be down there, and then click up here in the top right hand corner on the Untap button and import it straight into your Untap for you to give it a try. But before we get into the deck profile, first of all, I want to give a shout out to DBS Deck Planet, the best deck building platform in DBS. Such a great interface, really easy to use. And if you're like me, you enjoy all the features it has to provide you, and also probably stick to it. Like at the moment now, after using this site, I just stick to this because it's just everything I wanted in the deck building website in one, and there's no reason I feel to use any others. So feel free to give it a try and see how you find it. So going into the deck profile, I've opted to go with the OG Boujack leader from set 6, the yellow one, because in set 13 we got some new Boujack stuff, a new leader and archetype, but in blue instead of yellow. So I thought since we got some support since then to help with the old leader, in the anniversary box, like with the Aegis, the rival dual color ones, and the one to help give the Awakened side a bit something to do. I thought I'd have a look and see what blue stuff is in there that could go with the leader and give it a try. And as a result, this is the final list I've got, and I've been enjoying it, and it's performing pretty well. So get into it. So with the OG leader, it's been joked as one of the worst leaders in the game because on its Awakened does nothing. Literally, just when you're left with 4 less, you flip over. That's what you do. But it can provide a lot of draw, and also can be quite good in some situations. It's one of those leaders that I like, that where you don't have to attack the draw, because it's got an auto of once per turn of when a Boujack Brigade card is played in your battle area, draw 1 card, and this card gets 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Now on the other side, it's got the exact same ability, exact same effect, the draw card, but it doesn't get 5k power. And then it's also got a useful auto on the second auto, which can be helpful in when you combo with one of your cards during your turn. If your combo area has 2 or more Boujack Brigade cards that you combo with from your battle area, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And if you KO the card, you get your skill for duration turn. So this gives you some removal without having need to attack your opponent. You can go in, attack your opponent's leader, combo stuff, and kill one of the battle cards. And what this deck does a lot is rest stuff. It's very easy to rest things in this deck. And then if it doesn't have barrier, you can easily just KO your opponent's battle card so you don't have to worry about your opponent's battle cards really that much. And yeah, it's got that ability is both on the front side, exactly the same on the front side and back side. And as I said, Awaken is when your life is a 4 less, you can flip over. But there is a card in the deck that helps you give something when you awaken. And on the back side, it's got an added permanent where you can combo with Boujack Brigade cards and rest mode in your battle area. So this is really good for if you attack. This is why when you flip over, you want to attack all your battle cards first before attacking your leader, because then after attacking with all, you can then combo more as combat power if you need be for like a final push. And as I said, on the auto, the first side got the same ability, just doesn't gain the draw, but just doesn't gain 5k, and the air auto is exactly the same as the front side. So no, it's a great leader. It's great that you can draw on both of your players' turn, because the auto isn't when during your turn, it's just once per turn when you play a battle card. When you play a Boujack Brigade card in your battle area, you draw 1. So on your Waking turn, you can draw for both sides, which is really strong. And also during your opponent's turn, if you use like the negate Boujin or rival in a Boujack, you get a draw as well. So that's really, really strong, and you can draw for your deck really well. Like I've had times where I've almost decked out, but luckily because of the 1-drop yellow Boujin, I've been able to sort myself the deck out, but go through my entire deck to find like my secret rare and stuff like that. So with the main deck, we've got a dual color. So we're using some of the old yellow stuff, not much of it, but some of the really good yellow stuff as well, and some of the new blue stuff. and this allows us to use, and also as well that some dual carded cards to help out, because for the dual carded cards we got a place of each of the Bojacks because they both have a rival, which allows us to play them in cheaper. And this Bojack here, Violent Rest Bojack, is just amazing in using quite ever decks that use both blue and yellow outside the archetype. And for a super combo choice, we've gone for the Zamasu, which helps rival these two in, and also triggers a few things like Poutine, and just helps for extra defense, because you don't really need a draw super combo in this deck because of the fact that you draw for a lot of your leader. Like, even the leader doesn't do much on Awakened side, you do draw quite a bit, and you can maintain hand size quite a bit. But it does have a thing where if you misplay your plays, you then will bleed resources. But if you play it properly, you can keep up quite a large hand size and quite a lot of resources. And then also as well for extra one, so this Bojack also has Aegis. So I've incorporated in the Angel Checkland from Draftbox 5 to help out, because it fulfills the condition for Aegis as well as extra copies, and also in this deck you mainly want to have yellow energy charged, but sometimes you do want a blue, so things like you want some blue energy sometimes to trigger Beam, so you can have Beam for defense and offense, to play Beto, hard casting it because you can play it by an effect, and also Boujack as well to use as a negate, which is can be useful. So you want at least one blue energy, and luckily this one fits quite well because the only blue card you want to charge for energy is Boujack, because you can use it from energy, which we'll go over in a bit. So I've chosen to use this one because because the other Checkland you need a dual color already charged. But having this one in, once you get to your third turn, you can charge this without and then use this effect to warp which is to warp a blue, which is warp from your drop a blue card and a yellow card to ignore its energy exhaust. So once you get to turn 3, you can charge this, warping like a bean and any yellow card that you don't care about, to then have it charged without having it rested as well, so you get max UC energy. And as I said as well, if you do have it in your hand and you've already got one charge, you can just use it for Aegis to get that effect. So into the first one, we got Violent Rest Boujack. It's the first arrival card. So it's got a plethora of keyword skills, energy exhaust being something that's on every single dual color card. It's got barrier, which makes it hard to interact with and gives it a good bit of protection. Unique to prevent it, which means you can only control one at a time on the board, which is good because if you had multiple of these on the board, it'd be a bit unfair. And then it's got 2 other keyword skills. First being Aegis, which a lot of players might not remember what Aegis did because it came back out. It was first released in set 7 when we first got dual color cards, and it hasn't really been used up until now. Like the only really Aegis card that's really used at the moment is this card in other decks. So what Aegis does is it's a keyword skill that can only be used during your defensive steps on your opponent's turn during a battle when you have a chance to combo. You can trigger this effect, which is by discarding from your hand either a blue card and a yellow card, or a card that's both blue and yellow. And what that then allows you to do is untap any 2 energy for the turn. So it means that if you're tapped out and your opponent attacks you, when it comes to your defensive step to combo, you can discard. Mainly, you want to discard the dual color card to then untap 2 energy. And the reason why this card is really good, even outside of this deck, is because it is also of when this card activates Aegis, you draw a card. So it means that if you discard 1 card for Aegis to trigger both like dual color card, you then replace it after that. So you essentially get for free to untap 2 energy in your opponent's turn when defending. And the way to bring out a cheap, because you're not going to play the 7 energy for it, is by Arrival, which if you don't know what Arrival does, it's a keyword skill which you can activate during either player's turn, during your defense, during your on your opponent's turn, your offensive step, or on your turn during your offensive step, and in your opponent's turn during your defensive step. You can, if you have in your combo area either a blue card and a yellow card, or a card that's both blue and yellow, you can pay the energy cost here, which is 1 yellow, to play it from your hand. Just play it from your hand. So most of the time you'll be comboing from your battle area or from your hand, either as a Masu or yellow and blue card. So revel this in, and also, which a good thing is when you play this card, if you haven't played, if it's the first Boujack Brigade card you play, get a draw card from leader, which is really strong. And this is one of the main cards for the deck, being able to give you more energy, basically give you your energy +2 in your opponent's turn, in between turns. So for your turn you get all your energy use, and then your opponent's turn you get an extra 2 energy by using this. And it's just a nice 20k beat stick as well. Then the other rival one we got is Boujack Resident Agent Destruction. This one's a 4-cost 20k, so they're both 20k, which is handy. This one has blocker, then has a rival, which it goes over a bit more detail there, but play this card from your hand when you have a blue and yellow card in your combo area. Like as I said, all cards have energy source, and this one's got a helpful effect as well. You may be using this one as well for Aegis, but it's still usable, and it's very helpful to help defend because it is also when you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle card, switches to rest mode, and place this card on top of place the top card of your opponent's deck in your drop area. So you get the minimum one, you get the rest stuffing, and have a 20k blocker as well, which is handy. And then when this does block, if it survives, you can then combo off if your leader is awakened because it's permanent, which is really handy. So that's one of the nice things about this is you can swing, arrival this in to tap something down, swing with it, and then combo off on another swing while it's in rest mode, which is handy. And then we have Checkland, which I just went over, which, as I said, has the permanent of one placing this card in your energy from any area. You may choose one blue card, one yellow card in your drop area, and send it to a warp. If you do, negate this card's energy exhaust skill when playing it into your energy. So this is really handy, as I said. So you're not good because turn 1 and 2, you want to charge yellow mostly, and then or even maybe yellow and blue, but you don't want to charge. You don't want to charge dual card at turn 1. You want to wait until turn 2 or 3 when you've got enough in your drop to charge this without having it rested, which is really handy. And it does have an activate main, which could be helpful as well, which is for 1 blue and 1 yellow. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of his deck. Then at the start of your opponent's next turn, choose 2 of your energies, which is in active mode. So this gives you some help for removal if you want to, for 2 energy, and then you get the energy back at the start of your opponent's next main phase, which is handy, which is pretty nice. And then lastly, Zabasu don't really have to go over this much. It's just a great super combo. If your leader card is blue or yellow, when you combo this card from your hand, choose it to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So this is handy just to tap down more stuff and trigger a rival. Then for the yellow Boujack Brigade card, we just got two cards for the yellow Boujack stuff, both maxed out at 4 as well. Oh yeah, and we also only put the I1 at 3 because you only need one to see the charge, and the other 2 are just there. So you play 3 copies to try and see it by turn 3 to charge, and if you see more, they're there for Aegis. So the first of the yellow ones we got is Boujack Galactic Disruptor, which is one we got in the special anniversary box 2020. It's got 2 useful effects. The first one is an activate main, which you're going to mainly want to see it by turn 2 for a second activate main, but the first activate main can come in handy because of what its effect does is if you have 2 or more Boujack Brigade cards in play in your battle area, which most of the time you at least have 1 because you're Violent Rush, you can play this card from your hand, then you can play copies of this card from your hand. So it means if you've got 2 Boujack Brigade cards in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand for free, but you can't play another copy for the turn. This is nice because if you have, say turn 1 you played the 1-drop Beto, so, and then you have the Violent Rush, you can play this for free, swing with it, and then on never swing combo off after you get a 15k swing with it. To then if you combo this plus never card in your battle area after swing with this, you then get the trigger your leader's second effect. So it could be handy in that time, but the main reason you want this kind of max out 4 is because on turn 2, it makes this activate main, the second activate main, useful. Where if your leader card is a yellow Boujack card on its front side, you have 2 more energy and you discard this card from your hand. Flip your leader card to its backside and draw 2. So this is a way to give your leader an effective awakening. So normally turn 2 is when you want to see this. You want to play. Sometimes you can play this Beto, so grab this from the top 5 and get the draws more from leader. Then use this effect to flip it over and draw 2. And then on your opponent's on the other side, you can play another Boujack Brigade and draw again. And with this, and reason why this BDO is good is because this one helps you stop. This one stops you from decking out, and also is a great searcher. So it's permanent. It's basically unique. Before we actually got the keyword skill unique, and it's also when you play this card, if you lead a card as a Boujack Brigade, which it is, look up to 5 cards on top of your deck, choose up to 1 Boujack Brigade among them, and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. The reason why I prefer to use this over the blue Beto, the new Beto we got, is because the new Beto, only search for certain costs, which I think is 3 or less. I think. But whilst this one just searches for any card that is a Boujack Brigade, so you can search your rival cards or any of the other Boujack Brigade cards. And it also has a useful thing of its activate main, of place this card in its owner's drop area, then choose 5 Boujack Brigade cards with energy cost of 2 or less in your drop area, shuffle chosen cards in your deck. So this is really handy because you have three different targets, and at 4, 4, and 3, so you have plenty to make sure you always have 5 cards in your deck, so you don't ever deck out, which is really handy. Because as I said, sometimes you will draw through your deck really quickly, and you go down to quite low cards in the deck. But luckily, as long as you've got 1 copy of this, and it's successful and staying alive when you play it, you can trigger it to make sure you don't deck out. And that's it for the yellow ones. Those are the only yellow ones I found useful from the old stuff. And then for the new blue stuff, we got is Beto the Crow, which is basically a cantrip. When this card is played, draw 1 card. So if it's the first card you play with your on your turn, you get a draw from this and a draw from your leader. And this one's really handy in the fact that it has an activate battle, which helps deal with unisons and put some pressure on, which is an activate battle once per turn for 1 energy. This card gains 11,000 power and double strike until the start of your next main phase. Now, this can be triggering both players' turns, so on your turn, you can swing with it, tap 1 energy down and make it a 15k double strike, which is helpful, as I said, for taking down unisons. And then after you've used that effect, if you want to defend it even more on your opponent's turn, make sure it stays, you can tap another energy if you do have it free, or which you can also tap with using your leader Boujack Violent Rush's Aegis. You can then make it up to a 24k for the turn, because it's until the start of your next main phase. And then we've got 3 of Boujack the Commando. This is really this is a nice counter attack, because when you counter with it, you can get a draw on your opponent's turn from your leader as well, which is nice. So you can just basically tap 1 to play this, get an attack, and then draw from your leader because it's a Boujack Brigade that's just been played. I guess because it's got a counter attack skill. If your leader card is a Boujack Brigade card, you get your attack, play this card. If you activate this card's counter skill card from, and this is the reason why this is the only blue card you really want to charge, because it's ever effect in the counter attack where if you activate this card's counter attack skill from your energy, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. And then the permanent says if you can activate this card's counter skill from your energy by paying its energy cost and choosing 1 card in your hand and discarding it. So you can drop a card and play the cost, which is 1 blue, from to combat the counter attack from your energy, which is handy. And then if you do that, it replaces this off with the top card of your deck. So it's a really handy negate all round. And then the last of the Boujack Brigade cards we have is the Tournament Pack 13 Boujack, which is Boujack Rampage and Agent of Destruction. So some really useful effects. First of all is its permanent, which is really strong, which is when this card is in rest mode in your opponent's battle cards with energy costs are greater than or equal to their energy can attack leader cards. So it means if they got a free cost and they've only got free energy, it can't attack your leader, it has to kill this first. And you're never going to be paying free to get up play it, because you're going to be playing it first auto, which is an auto for 1 energy. If your leader card is a Boujack Brigade card or has Alien Destruction in its card name, which our leader is a Boujack Brigade card, at the end of a battle in which this card is using the combo from your hand or energy, you may play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So it's really great, and if your opponent just swings at you 15 when you're awakened, you just combo this for 1, and out combo it, and then pay 1 to play this from your drop area. Play it from your drop area in rest mode. Then your leader will get a draw because it's a Boujack Brigade card, and now they have to attack this with anything equal to any battle cards that are equal to or less than or higher than their energy. For the turn until it's gone. And if it is KO'd, it's got a second auto. When this card is KO'd, you draw a card. So if they do KO it, if they do KO it, then you get to draw a card, which is really strong. I'm playing it at 3. I would like to put a 4, but space is quite strict in the deck, so I've only got the 3. And on to the extra cards and non-Boujack Brigade cards, we have 2 Poutine, easy addition to anything yellow, having being a barrier unique, so you can only counter 1 copy on the board, and it's hard to interact with if your leader is yellow. It's got 2 autos versus if your leader is yellow. When a card is rested by one of your skills, when your opponent's card is rested by one of your skills, you can play it from your hand for free, and that's really easy to do with it's a Master Super combo, your rival Boujack, and things like that. And then it helps you with its ever auto of once per turn if your opponent plays a battle card, uses a skill, or activates a counter, you can tap one of the battle cards. As long as it doesn't have a barrier. And one thing to learn is this there's always triggers on the first skill they played. So if they play something, whatever the first thing is they play by skill, or if any first counter they use, it will force the trigger. And the other extra card we got is the Mecha Freezer Robotic Riposte. Counterattack. So this is the new yellow Champ Pack 2021 card. It's a really strong card, and it's easily triggerable to play from this deck. It's a free cost counterattack, which just has to get counterattack of negate the attack to play this card. But it does have a permanent, because you're not going to be paying free for it, because it's permanent of if your leader card is yellow, which it is, and your opponent has more 2 energy, which is normally fine. You can reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy area and drop area. And now for the deck we have 2 yellow extra cards, and both are always used. So we'll go over those in a bit, but you can easily fulfill that condition by just charging 1 if you want to, and then playing the other ones which are very have a 3 or for 1 cost. And it's also the reason we play 3 copies of this to help defend, which is when this card is played from your hand, each time your opponent would attack with a non-using card this turn, they must choose one of their cards in active mode and switch to the rest mode. So it's really handy because that puts a condition that easily triggers Poutine, and just means that it limits the amount of attacks depending on what they've got in active mode. And the activate main we're not going to go over because there's no targets to play in this deck. So that's all the battle cards. And for the extra cards, so the first of the 2 yellow extra cards to make Mecha cheaper is Arrival of the Space Pirates. So there's a 1 cost yellow extract card which activate main of choose up to 1 Boujack Brigade card with energy cost of 2 or less from your hand, from your deck, and play in rest mode to your deck. So we play 4 of this because it helps make Mecha Freezer cheaper, and it allows you to shoot it straight from your deck, either this Beto or either the 2 Betos. And the reason why it's great to grab these from straight from the deck is it thins your deck, and both of these when they're played searches. This Beto searches for a top 5 for Boujack Brigade, and this one just draws. So either way, you're playing something in your deck to fin by deck by 1, then finning again by another 1 by playing one of these 2 and getting a search or a draw, and then your leader gets a trigger as well. And this also allows you, it makes it easier to, after you've played, so normally turn 1 you want to charge yellow and play this Beto to search top 5 to kind of try and find this Boujack or your rival if you don't have it, and then turn 2 use this to play the blue Beto from your deck to draw 1 for your leader. Awaken and then you'll have enough to then swing and a rival Boujack as well. It's really handy to get your extra draws, more draw power. And remember, on your leader's backside, you can combo from 1 rest mode, so it's not that much of an issue. And the other thing we have is the brand new one, probably one of the main chase cards from set 13, which is the Power of a Super Saiyan. So this is a 1 cost yellow extra card. It's a negate because of counter attack, you get your attack. Then it has a permanent of if you make it really, really good. It's got a permanent where if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy cards in active mode, you can activate this card to activate battle skill from your hand without paying its energy costs. So it means this is potentially a free, well, most of the time it is going to be a free extra card. So you're not going to ever pay its energy cost. And what this activate battle does is if your leader card is mono yellow, which it is, you draw 1 card, so you replace itself when using that skill. Then you choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, which is the rest mode, and you can activate the activate battle skill on copies of this card for the turn. So this is really strong. Just for free, you can replace itself, draw a card, and tap on one of your opponent's cards, which triggers Poutine very easily, and also helps you defend a lot easier as well. And it's also a way to tap on your opponent's unisons as well. So like you've got Zamasu tap down leader battle card, you've got Poutine to tap down battle cards. Boujack to tap down battle cards, and you've got Power of Super Saiyan, which allows you to tap down either battle cards or unison cards. So in turn, you can use this and use this. You can use Boujack's effect to Aegis to untap 2 energy, 1 being mono yellow. Then trigger this for free to draw a card and tap something down. Then it's a massive super combo to tap down the leader card, and then arrival on this Boujack to tap down a battle card. So you tap down 3 of the cards and barely use anything, because this will replace itself when it played. This replaces the card you discard for it when you Aegis. This replaces itself, and you just basically lose the card for it. It's massive, that's it. But you defend against 3 attacks, potentially. And then we have free Beam, because Beam is just handy for blue, helps for defense, gives you 5k boost for the turn, and also gives you more use of energy in your player's turn. And in the secret rare choice, I decided to switch up from, instead of using Kai, I decided to go for Heroine's Lineage, because I just find this card is more useful in most situations. Taking when your opponent's battle cards, it just makes it so your opponent's got to be wary if they go in with a battle card. And also there are some very strong battle cards that 7 cost or less to steal. So it's not ultimate like most every secret has, where you can have one copy that has the ultimate tag in your deck. We're not going to bother going over the activate main because you're never going to trigger it. It's just mainly the activate battle of if your opponent has 3 or more energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 7 or less and gain control of it. Now this is very strong. I feel this is stronger than Kai because one, it only costs 1 energy and you get to steal something from your opponent. So if they got a very strong battle card, there's no barrier, you can take hold of that. And it's live a turn earlier than Kai because Kai requires you to be on free energy, where this requires your opponent to have free energy. So if you're going second, it's live on turn 2. If you're going second with Kai, that's not live at all. It could be dead in your hand. But that's the deck. That's the deck list. It's very strong, very handy. Generally, the turn-by-turn play is turn 1 you want to charge yellow and either play Beto from your hand or play it by Arrival of the Space Pirates. And then turn 2 play never yellow or blue depending, but you want to mainly use your turn 2 after charging to get this Beto with Cruel, either by charging a blue and hardcasting it from your hand, or play it from Arrival of the Space Pirates to get the draw. And then hopefully you have this Boujack in your hand that collect the Disruptor to flip it over and draw 2. And then swing with your lead, that's now 20k on the front side. Combo these 2 in your battle area off to arrive on the Boujack to draw a card. And then have Aegis live as well. And then after that, from turn 3 onwards, you want to try and charge R1 if you do see it, by warping either 1 each of these cards you just comboed off, or a blue card, could be one of these, or a yellow card, which could be anything really yellow. And from turn 3 onwards, just defending with your easily defending and just beating your opponent down with 15ks and your rival cards as well. Because remember, you can swing with these and then combo off your opponent's turn. Like one really good defensive thing on your opponent's turn is you can use Aegis, discard a dual colour to untap 2 and draw 1. Then combo off this Boujack, arrive on a new Boujack, then use Aegis again, using the new Boujack to have then give you essentially then a free more draw power for your deck, trigger your leader's draw, and also still have your energy open as well. So very defensive, and which as what we're going to do now is go over the game and see how it functions. So here we go. We got the game against the Draco Dragons on Undup. So I managed to lose a die roll because he rolls a 20, I rolled 12. And from my starting hand, I'm looking at it thinking it's King Vegeta, it's going to be aggro. So what I want to keep hold of is Power of the Super Saiyan is definite because of the yellow charge, because I play 4 of, and even way it's a good negate as well to help. And the Boujack as well, because if I don't see a Beto, which I fortunately do, turn 1, I can have a way to swing combo and have something played on the board straight away, then to stop them from him attacking with his free costs and more. Or if he has Piccolo stuff from attacking, if he does play the Piccolo Junior Eradicator piece, he has to attack that before attacking my leader then. So he goes with turn 1, he goes charges one of his postliners who's playing that, imposing. So I know he's going mono red if he's playing that, and just brings that Raditz, plays Vegeta to grab the TV Goku. So my turn is before I draw, he plays the Vegeta, So these play from beginning of turn. So before you draw, so I lose the Boujack extra. So by losing that, I straight away charge up the pirates, and now any of my free freezes are now live and ready to go for just 1 energy. And now it's also that's 1 yellow in there ready for my win to charge. So I play the Beto, grab my arrival Boujack, and get a draw from my leader in the 5k. So swing into his leader, just to push some damage through. So that way, so I don't attack him, he's going to awaken anyway by getting me down to 4 life and put himself down at 5 life anyway. So I might as well swing at him and make use of my turns. So managed to get into a freeze off my leader, so I've got quite a decent hand. And unfortunately, I don't have a free 10k to not take this. I'm going to have to take this damage. I don't want to really combo off 2 cards from my hand to stop this damage, so I'm just going to let it go. And unfortunately, I hit the Boujack to help me awaken. And then he goes and swings with my leader, so he's giving me more cards, which I'm fine with. It's absolutely fine, because it's not crit, so I don't mind this. And he gets himself a super combo. So I know what super combo he's playing, which is handy, so I just take that hit. And next, I think he plays a Unison, which is, yeah, he plays Piccolo Unison. So that's absolutely fine, I don't mind that. Plus the draw 1. And I think he doesn't bother swinging at my leader then because he wants to crit off the invader. So he uses the extra card to then take a life to play an invader from his deck. And then sacks it off to play the Goku. So he's got some power reduction alive then. So it's not my turn. I draw. I lose a card, so I've got a blue-green, so I've got 1 of each. So luckily he's put 1 each in my grave, so straight away I can charge this for I can put the eye on turn 2 to have a blue. I have 2 yellow or blue-yellow ready from turn 2. And I'm considering what to do because there's I do want to get rid of this Piccolo first. So I played a Beto. To give my leader a boost, draw 2 and give my leader a 5k boost. Swing at the Piccolo because I want to swing into that, and a combo off both these 2 because I don't want to tap 1 for the Beto to basically give a double strike, and I don't want to get rid of that Vegeta. So I do that, and I'm down at 4 as well. So I don't have to free drop in hand, so I can just go awaken in normal time. I'm about to go to rival, and realize no, I got an awaken, so I get the extra draw. So I decided to flip over my lead and then play the Boujack by arrival, so I can get the draw from the leader. And I managed to get my secret, which is quite nice. So I've established my Boujack. So I have him on board, and I want to start taking markers off the Unison. So I swing into his Unison because to get rid of that, because that's every turn it survives, he's getting a free draw. And I want to get rid of that. And it's the reason to attack a leader. Because it's Unison getting free draw, and I want to get rid of that because that can be removed, where the leader can't. The leader just stays there for the whole game. So I just pass turn after that. I have to swing the Boujack, put it down to 1 marker because I've got nothing else to. So I could attack with one of the invaders, but I decided I don't want to waste the Zamasu from my hand to do that. Because I'd have to combo up with a Zamasu and another card, and that's a bit of a waste of resources to do that. Just take out the Piccolo. So he chooses the 3, drops the Vegeta, and I've got a lot of combats. I've got plenty of dual color cards to trigger Aegis, and plenty of defense to not worry about him doing anything. So after doing that, he taps 3 to play into his 5 drop. Vegeta was really strong. It's a really annoying card, and that's why I switched over from the hero in lineage to Kai, because I feel like this deck is going to be one of the most played decks from set 13. and the lineage card allows me to take it, which then, after I take it, I become the master skill to create him. So he swings at me with Leader first, after Awakening. I use Aegis to untap 2 and draw and replace the card just as lost. And then I decide to go Hero's Lineage to take his Vegeta. So I'm just going to take that. So I clone it to take hold of it. Let's say that Vegeta doesn't get a drop. It does because it's changed the battle. I think it does change the battle area, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. And he's under assumption that I take the damage. I have to correct him and say, no, he takes the damage because I'm now master the card, so the skill, when a skill triggers, it triggers for me. And also, so he's only got 1 energy open. And so I explained to him that now on the master card, I get the effect to burn on him. And now the energy open, I can either beam, which I don't really feel like doing. So I'm just going to combo off this Boujack to 1, get a draw, and have a battle card to stop him from making, so he can counteract with my leader with his battle cards. So I get a draw. I get the draw from that. I got paid a 1 for the Boujack. He then pays his Yamcha to take out my Boujack and Vegeta. But then, as someone points out, I was watching the game because I forgot I didn't play this deck either, so I didn't read the card properly and realised it's got Deflect, so it's not affected by Yamcha at all. And also, what I forgot to do was check with my opponent to see which counter window he was dropping on. So if it's counter window 1, it would affect my Boujack. If it's counter window 2, it would affect my Boujack. Yeah, and as we realised, as someone pointed out, spectating that because of Deflect, it's unaffected by the Yamcha, so he can't get rid of it. So I get it back, which is great because now I've got this double striker I can use to swing it as a Unison. But I'm not sure what kind of. But I gotta be careful because he's got extra cards. I know he's got Imposing Presence there, which can reduce the power, and with Leader reduce it by 20. So I want to try and protect. Try not to lose the Vegeta. So just taking it, and it's a really handy card against him. I think here he decides not to. I don't think he decides to attack anymore. I think he just leaves it at that. No, he decided to swing with his Piccolo. I think I just take. I don't know. I use it as a master to tap down the Yamcha to stop more attacks because I've got no energy. I've already used my Aegis, and I want to make sure he doesn't attack too many times because he still both those apply some pressure because they're both 15. So as a master, I use my Zamasu up that I have in hand to prevent out-combo one attack and prevent another one. And I think after this he takes a bit of time to figure out that he wants to just pass turn. Yeah, just pass turn. So now I'm looking at it, I didn't really want to charge much. So I decided to charge the Boujack because I don't want to charge any yellow cards. They're really handy. And now I'm thinking if I attack with the Vegeta into his Unison, he can counter attack and kill it. So I decided to do next. Normally either Imposing Presence or Warfang Fist. But what I found out is he's playing Is That All You Got, which is an odd choice I've not seen before. So you manage to negate my attack and get rid of my Vegeta, which then allows him to burn me for 1. So I try not to do what I've done before and put all my life into drop. But now it's out of the way. Now he uses up his 1 energy. I had to pay 1 for the Boujack, which you get 1 for the Boujack. Pay 1 for Beidou to get the draw from Beidou and draw from lead. And then try and get rid of his Unison, because I can tap the 1, give it double strike, and for 15k double strike to get rid of it, and that goes through. And I want to manage his battle cards because in this reason attack his leader. I want to get rid of his 15k battle cards and Unisons to kind of make sure they die. And Also, the benefit of this was because I don't have to worry about tapping out on my opponent's turn. As I combo off the Raditz, so the Raditz is gone, so it's one less Raditz he's got to play off the invaders, and go to 25k. So if he does want to protect that one Yamcha, he has to use either a lot of cards, at least 3 cards to protect it, or waste a super combo and another card to protect a Yamcha. So after that, pass to his turn, because now he has to play. The Whereabout. He drops a Never Unison, so I've got another one to try and clear. And means that his Yamcha's alive again. He says swing at leader. Because he's just trying to imagine just pressure life. Because he's got the 5 drops that can then crit me. And deal damage anytime something happens. So straight away, easy as I always do. Use Aegis for a Boujack to draw a new card and tap 2 energy. Use the power Super Saiyan to tap down his Unison. So he's only got 2 energy open, and that can't attack now. Get myself a new card as well, and then beam up so that way and protect for the turn a bit more. It's an easy, strong defense. One thing I probably should have done there as well is tap 1 for the Boujack and put it in the 24, so it's harder to remove. So it's still there as well. So I think now what he's going to do is remove it with use the leader skill and a minus effect. So he overwhelms into his mirror. Really trying to force, and luckily I have the Boujack in there. So I decided to discard a card, which I don't need Revel to fix base parts anymore because I've got 3 Boujacks in hand. To use it from my energy as a negate to replace an energy, which unfortunately hits the master super combo, but at least gives me 2 blue energy to use and gets me a draw off leader. But then that triggers the Piccolo to kill the Boujack Beto, which sucks. But then I do draw a new Boujack Beto. And then he's again bringing out a Raditz from his deck to the side of the board. And tapping to get the blocker Goku to kind of defend himself a bit more. And then uses the extra card to give just the Goku's barrier. I felt that was a really big waste. Just to give the 2 Gokus, and then swings with it. They're not even trying to pressure damage, just for the sake of it. But then he's given these 2 barrier, which is a bit of a weird choice. So I'm looking at what to charge. I decided to charge another multi because I don't want to use any of the yellow cards I have. Because the Beaters are really handy to make sure I don't deck out because I'm only 18 cards in deck. And I get draw twice every turn. And once on my opponent's turn as well. So I want to try and clear that Unison. And if he tries to protect it, he's got to use cards from board. So he blocks the leader swing. You call it a 20 to at least make him lose a card in hand if he wants to protect this Goku. Which he does. And make use of using the Boujack Beto on board for a combo power rather than waste it from my hand. So I use the Beto to look at top 5. And I decided to grab the Boujack because I can play it to force out the Yamcha, which I think he has in hand. And here I try to see if he's going to block with the Goku. See, so I do it that way, I get rid of it. And if I can force out the Yamcha and force out the blocker Goku, and then I can get through to killing his Unison with the Beto. So on this, yeah, there we go. He drops the Yamcha as I predicted. Forced it out with the easy way to force it out. And I can't remember if I just leave it here because there's no reason that if I play the Beto and swing, he's just gonna block with the Goku. So I just pass. And I've got loads of defense because I've got 2 freezers to make his turn harder to try and kill me. And I've also got easy arrival. I got loads of things to play on his turn to draw and plus off. So So on the first attack, I use the freezer, so I have that triggered. So stop the attack and make it now. So if he wants to attack with anything that's not a unison, he has to tap down a card to swing. So he taps 3 to evolve in the Goku, which I'm absolutely fine with. He decides to swing at the freezer, tap down his extra card, and decide to drop another freezer to make it even harder because he can still swing in a unison and Yamcha. So I'm just making it as if he wants to tap with swing with the Yamcha. He's got a he's got to tap 2 down this turn now. And also, as well, he's forgot about the Piccolo effect, which could pop freezers, which is lucky. Not that it really matters that much, so they're just 15k on the board, just more to prevent him from swinging at me more on this turn. Once again, he drops the Vegeta to drop another Goku, so he has more blockers on board, which is annoying because it's going to make it harder to protect the. It's going to make it harder to protect the. Kill the unison. And on his attack here, he decides to. He just gives a 19, so I combo off the Boujack to play it to draw a card, and it gives me my Poutine. So here, someone's one of the spectators commenting about why he didn't kill the freezers because he just forgot. And he has all the Gokus enacted to block. He didn't swing the Goku. The 5-drop has dual attack, so he just didn't attack with it. So it's still active mode and a blocker. So I decided once I get the 4 energy now, there's no reason to even bother with. Yeah, there's nothing to even really worry about charging. 4 energy is enough for me to do my stuff. So I decide to swing into unison. He lets it go. I tap down the 5-drop, and then I rev on the Boujack to get a draw from a lead, and also tap down another blocker. And I just want to try and get rid of unisons. I just swing the 15 up and swing with one of the freezers to get a marker off. Javenki lets go, he doesn't block. And once again, never a unison. Then swing a lead, which he's going to block with. I mean, this is why I misplayed, because I should have swung with the blocker Boujack first. So that way I can combo off from lead along with the free drop to then KO. So I just tap it anyway just to KO the Goku. And look, the reason I KO this Goku is because it's a threat to swing at battle cards and deal damage for me that way. And it's not so bad the doing damage to me when it's removed by a skill because it goes to hand. Because it's not like Vegeta, which is going to drop. That one just says take a damage, so it goes to my hand. I pressure the 30k at the blocker to get rid of it. So he's either got to use super combos to protect the battle card instead of his life. And he's using one of his super combos and showing off that he's running the Gogeta chain. So at this point, I feel like I might have a bad choice to use the Vegeta, the secret rare on the Vegeta, because the fact, but then I didn't realize he had that until now, and that's a very good thing to grab from my opponent as well if he does drop it. As soon as he combo off, imagine he doesn't want to pay the 6 to play it, and maybe he doesn't have the 5 cost to drop it. So I'm trying to filter through deck to see what more I can have. So I drop the Beto to see what I can grab, and grab a target for Aegis. And then use the effect, because I've only got one more left in my hand. So I decided to use the effect to sack it off with 501 to drop to put them back in the deck to keep my deck filled. Because now he's got less cards in my deck, so I can go for the deck out technically. Even though I've used mostly, I think at this point, I've used at least 3 of my blocker Boujack. And I'm contemplating on potentially tap out, but I do. But I just want to make sure, because it doesn't really matter much about. Oh, I want to keep an energy open for. So I decided to swing at the Goku because he's in rest. I want to try and see if I can get rid of something from his, because you either got to use a card from hand, do anything. And I decided to just swing with the Boujack and not use Beam, because I'd rather keep Beam defensively. And he drops in his Kai Secret Rare and combos off the Yamcha to protect his blocker. So now after that, I'm thinking I'm in a pretty bad. I think I'm in a pretty bad spot, because if he drops the 6-drop Vegeta, it's gonna be hard to combo out of that if he does, and I have to then use my 1-edge. I have to use my Powder Super Saiyan as a negate instead of a free tap down plus draw. So even if he swings at the Boujack with the Kai, I can use Aegis to protect it. But he goes into lead, and I'm thinking, if I he only has a 40k, just leaves it at that. I'm just thinking, if I get a 40k, he just drops a 5-drop on the board, and then I can't remove that 5-drop anymore without triggering its effect to kill me, which means he's got a 5k that can't go. So I decided to use Aegis by dropping 2 cards to trigger. I don't actually say that though, I think I forget to shake the card. I do shake the card. I don't shake the card, but I trigger Aegis. To untap energy and draw a new one, which only gets me a negate, which is a bit too late. So I decided to Beam, combo off the Boujack to reveal a new Boujack to draw another card, and then use Super Saiyan to tap down one of the blockers to get a more draw as well, to try and see if I get more combo power. Drop the Poutine finally, because I think I could have dropped it last turn as well, but I made the mistake of forgetting to drop the Poutine. It would have been there from the turn before, which would have been handy. And then out combo, thinking, do I want to combat more cards from my hand to protect it? Because I think I've got the Poutine there to basically tap down if he plays him for my effect, and instead just combo. I think just combo off the Boujack. I think I've still got one or two left. I check in my drop, and I've still got 2 of the Boujack left, so not the end of the world. And I've at least got 1 super combo as well left in deck, or life. And I want to combo out this, because if he does drop the 5-drop, any of the 5-drops, then it's going to be hard to, because the 5-drops are really annoying. The Goku can force damage through by attacking my battle cards, especially Poutine, which is a 5k, which I don't want to happen. And the Vegeta, which makes it's almost impossible to attack with battle cards while it's on the board. So he tries to bait my Poutine by playing an Invader from his deck, which then allows, but then because he didn't attack with the Goku first, I'm able to touch the Goku down. So he doesn't add that for combo power or a free swing. And he's just going to life, uses two super combos. So I know he's used at least 3 super combos. So he's like me, he's only got 1 super combo left. And goes to 35 to do damage. And I'm not going to bother coming out of that. So I take the life. And unfortunately I draw a Arrival of the Space Pirates, which isn't helpful. But then he goes and uses the fill card to -15 one of my freezers. So at this point, he only got 5 cards in hand. Like he can, I know he's playing the Gogeta chain, but instead he just passes straight to me, straight back. I draw another freezer, which is good. It means I got even more defense next turn. I got more negates. So I just straight up decided to just swing with the freezer, which was a block, and see if he would use any negates. And then decided to go with the Boujack to see if I could find my Boujack, which I do. I managed to find one of my last 2 Bojacks from the top, and that gives me that and a draw. Then I'm trying to see if I can find more, and also try and get rid of that Kai, because as long as I get a swing through with something, I can combo off both these Beatos to remove that Kai from the board, because that's just a 40k swing every turn. So I decide to grab the Boujack because I can just because he negates, I can do that. And I decide to drop that, see if he's got a Yamcha in hand. Well, I forget about the. I'm trying to see if he's got a Yamcha in hand to try and the drop to force out his energy and force out more of his hand. And so that way I've got two things to swing with that because I don't want to attack with the Poutine because then it's really easy to run over. So I try to drop that. Swing it is Raditz to get rid of it because it's just free combo power for him. And then swing it as leader. And now, no, I'm not worried that he's blocking with Goku because I can, combo up the 25 and get rid of his Kai. And if he wants to keep that Goku, he's going to have to combo his last super combo to protect it, or at least 2 cards from hand. He's only got 5 left. I think he lets us go on the Goku. Nope, he combos off 2 cards to protect it. Which I'm actually absolutely fine with. So I've now got 2 negates in hand, and if he plays any effects, I can tap down. So I think he's running out of his young invaders to bait out the Poutine. So he does. I think he does still have some young invaders in a deck. So he brings out Raditz on his board, which forces the trigger of my Poutine. So I tap down one of his Gokus. He's at least that way. And if you tap with him first, I still have negates, but then I at least have them tap down first. And I mark it and to remind myself that it's been used up. So he's nice to use the young invaders to get remove my -5 for my Beto and -2 my Frieza. But I don't think he even bothers attacking my Frieza. Then he taps free to go into a Goku. Now this is where I'm happy that I have 2 negates to stop him from swinging at my Poutine to try and kill me. Because if I didn't have negates, he swung at my Poutine, he easily gets rid of it. So I drop the Mecha Frieza first, stop the first attack, and make it so he has to tap down a card if he wants to swing with it. So he swings, taps down his unit fill card, and then I'm able to use Bujin, to negate the last attack and get a draw from my lead as well. So now at least if he does swing my lead, I can rival in the Boujack to get out on board for free. I come off the Bujin and the Mecha Frieza. If he goes into it, he decides not to swing my leader because he doesn't want to keep tap his last energy down. So imagine he wants his last energy for something. So I decided to play the Bujin to get the lead, draw from my lead, and look at top 5, see what I've got left. So I've only got a few cards left in deck, and I see I got my last super combo is in deck, and I decide to grab the Beto because it's a potentially way to double strike him for game, and I get my super combo from the leader draw. So I'm trying to force out the negate from the Goku. So I swing the first time. I'm thinking I can combo off to KO it. I'm debating dropping it. It's like so I decided to just combo into it to play the Rival in the Boujack and also trigger leaders, which I forget to shake to kill it. So it's not, because otherwise if he comes out that, which he probably can do, then he's got a never blocker. So swing again with the Mecha to try and, because even though I want to kill him with Beto, I want to try and see if he's got a negate or anything, or force that combo cards from his hand, because he doesn't take that. He knows on 1 attack, 1 life, and the next card I can go in and win for lethal. So he combos that to put down the 4 cards in hand. So now I feel it's safe to drop the Beto. So I tap that, I play to get a draw, swing its lead, because it doesn't matter if I swing with the Beto, because I can combo off the lead in any case, and he drops is that all you got? But he doesn't discard to get rid of the Beto. So he just uses it as a negate, doesn't discard anything, minus anything. and now I'm thinking it's best to just swing it with Boujack first. And I know he's only got one super combo left, so he's want to go 25. He's got 3 other cards. So if one's a super combo, then because I'm thinking if he does super combo, he's got a super combo plus use another card out of it, so at least he'll be down to 2 cards in hand, and at least that way. And if by coming off the Boujack, I at least have it on board, then come off a lead, and I can still go in for poutine. So he decides to. So he takes took that life, and then on the leader swing, he had a negate which he couldn't use, and he had 15k power, and I still had the 3-drop Boujack, Arrival Boujack, Bidu, and my hand for at least an extra 15, 20, 30, 35, 45, 50, 55k combo, 60k combo with poutine as well, into his lead. In the end, so yeah, it was a really grindy game, and yeah, I was only on 5 cards left in deck, but luckily with this Bido, I could prevent myself from decking out. And this, I really had to kill him then, because this Goku, I had a Bujin in hand for a negate. But then this Boujack over here, I do have the Boujack down here to protect my leader from being attacked. But that Goku there means he can tech swing my poutine, and then make it really difficult for me to maybe use so many cards of combat to protect the poutine, and he can attack twice with it as well. So I can negate 1 attack, but then I have to combat almost everything to protect the poutine, which is not something I would have wanted. But yeah, that was it. So I managed to take the game against King Vegeta, going all the way down to 1 life, and defending like crazy. And as you can see, the deck has a lot of defense. Even our opponent did misplay a little bit with not killing these freezers with the Piccolo on that 1 turn when I dropped 2, and they didn't really get full use of that of their Kai, and it was easily removed the turn after. And as you can see, if you can whittle your opponent down the resources, you can easily overpower your opponent as well. But that's everything for the deck. So if you do want to try it, feel free to go down to the description box of the video and head on to the link to press this untap button up here to give the deck a try and untap. Or if you want to try, or feel free to go ahead and build it in real life if you want to try it out. The deck is really fun. It's nice to use the old Boujack lead as well, which is, I would feel, is probably the best time to use it now. Like it has been. But you can incorporate different things that you can if you want to side or move some things around to try out the 8-drop if you want to play it more controlling like that, to be like more taxing control. I personally feel that's a bit, because the 8-drop doesn't have any protection from counterplays, and counterplays are rampant at the moment. It's not really worth it. But if you want to give it a try, feel free to go ahead. Thank you for watching. It's been a while, but it's been a long video. But luckily you've got some gameplay as well to show a pretty good game already been played. Feel free to like the video as well if you enjoyed it. Comment below if there's anything I didn't cover, got wrong, or any questions you have, or if anything you want me to cover, feel free to drop a comment and I can either do a video or reply to it if needed. And lastly, if you're not already subscribed, feel free to give my channel a sub. It keeps you updated with any videos as and when I drop them, and keeps you up with this great content I'm trying to provide as well. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.